Well, earlier in the show, you saw East Bay Congressman Eric Swalwell touring damage from a recent storms in his home district.
And the congressman joins us now live to discuss some of the big stories continuing to unfold in Washington. We appreciate the time, as always, Congressman. Let's start here with the big story today, the new questions about President Biden's handling of classified documents. Of course, you know today the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, appointed a special counsel to investigate those sensitive materials found both at the president's home as well as an office he used after leaving office as vice president. Do you believe this was the right decision to appoint a special counsel?
Absolutely the right decision. We want independence as we evaluate, what happened, with these documents. We're fortunate in the Trump case. We know a lot more. What we know now about President Biden's post vice presidency is based on press reporting, which I'll accept as true. But we had court documents in the Trump case that showed he was repeatedly asked to give the documents back and had over a year to do so and refused to do so, which is why the FBI had to go to his residence. Here, on its face, it looks like there was an inadvertent attempt, or this was an inadvertent keeping documents, and when notified, immediately cooperated. But I do want to learn more, and I think the best way to learn more is not for me to investigate this, but for an independent prosecutor to look at it and report back.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Merrick Garland has decided to do. All right, Congressman, it is shaping up to be a big, contentious year with split control of Congress, with several battles ahead, including the debt ceiling. How are you planning to get anything done in Congress?
Well, we have to pay our bills, and that's what the debt ceiling means, that, we fund the government in a way that, we can pay our bills. The majority of Congress believes in doing that. Now, the problem is that Kevin McCarthy has struck a corrupt bargain to become Speaker, where he has agreed that he would leverage the debt ceiling to make cuts to Social Security, Medicare, and other services that people rely upon. So it's really going to be, can reasonable Republicans split away from Kevin McCarthy, work with Democrats to get that done? And then, Heather, we also will have to fund the government a little bit farther down the track. And then the fight for freedom in Ukraine, which is a fight for democracies everywhere, we will have to make sure that they stay in that fight. Those are three big issues we have to take on. And then, of course, doing all we can to, bring down inflation, expand, transportation and infrastructure funding. So I'm going to do all I can. I work on the Rare Earth Elements Caucus, not too sexy sounding, but trying to counter China and their dominance in rare earth elements for so many materials we rely on. I do that with the Republican from Pennsylvania. And so I think finding bipartisanship still remains important.
All right, certainly, though, a new era with Republicans in control of the House here. And speaking of House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, obviously you've probably heard some of the comments he's made publicly. He is vowing to keep you and other top Democrats off of the powerful House Intelligence Committee. Let's take a listen here to what the Speaker had to say about you.
If you got the briefing I got from the FBI, you wouldn't have Swalwell on any committee. And you're going to tell me other Democrats couldn't fill that slot? He cannot get a security clearance in the private sector. So would you like to give him a government clearance?
And the Speaker referencing the Chinese national and suspected spy who worked on your campaign back in 2014, who you later cut ties with. What is your response to Speaker McCarthy's comments there and his effort to keep you and other leading Democrats off of key committees?
Yeah, if Kevin McCarthy wants to, heat up 10-year-old leftovers in the microwave for his own political vengeance, we'll see how effective that is. And you alluded to it. Yes, this was somebody who volunteered on my first campaign for Congress. The FBI told us that she was not who she represented herself to be. I worked with the FBI. What's important, though, is that Speaker Paul Ryan received a briefing about what this person had done and what my cooperation was. And if there was wrongdoing, Speaker Ryan could have removed me from the committee. Devin Nunes, someone I certainly clashed with in the Russia investigation, was also briefed, never made a peep about this. Donald Trump as president, I clashed with him when I was an impeachment manager, when I was somebody leading the impeachment effort on the Judiciary Committee. He had access to all of this. If he could have embarrassed me, I promise you he would have. But most notably, 3 separate times, the FBI, Donald Trump's FBI, issued statements that there was never wrongdoing, only cooperation on my part. So this is political vengeance by Kevin McCarthy on a committee that has always been bipartisan and has always put national security above politics. And it's unfortunate that he's now using this ability to put people on the committee for his own political vengeance.
Yeah, but it really does illustrate the contentiousness that we have right now in Congress. East Bay Congressman Eric Swalwell, always appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.